introduce yourself and tell us what you do?
I'm Leighton. I'm the vice president of TPUSA, or what is now Club America, at my high school. I go to public school and I live in Texas, and I'm a junior.
All right, that's great. So how did you become vice president?
So I was like looking because we have a president. Her name's Addie, and she's a senior in my sophomore year. Like I was already into politics, and I was like discover. I already knew about Charlie Kirk and what he had done, and I was learning more about TPUSA. And I saw an Instagram post about the chapter starting at my school, and I was really interested in it. And I was the only one to show up to the first meeting, and from then on, like I just fell in love with it, and that's how I became vice president. I was like, I need an officer position right now. Like this is gonna be my thing. I was just really excited about it.
So did you run or did they just appoint you to it?
I had to fill out like a little application, but that was basically all since it was like a very limited. I feel like a lot of people at the time didn't know about it because like the high school chapters was like I think that was the first year that they introduced it. So it was like a newer thing, and it didn't have a lot of publicity yet, our club. So like there wasn't anybody voting or anything. I just applied and got accepted.
Oh, that's great. So what do you do as vice president?
um as vice president, I typically try to get more people involved and like spread word and get recruitment in, like just try to get more people to join, more people to know about the movement. Also like run social medias because um I enjoy doing like social media and graphics and stuff like that. um so I'll typically just do stuff like that, just trying to spread the word, get more recruitment, more people involved in the club.
What does the club do?
We as Club America try to spread not only patriotism but push the conservative movement in a positive way that's accepting in public schools, because a lot of it's different than college and the normal TPUSA, because public high school on like a lot of times doesn't accept or may not accept political clubs and stuff like that. So you kind of have to like be careful about it. But we push conservative values, try to spread truth, and Christian values as well. Even though Christianity may not be like the main like focus of the club, like because it's a conservative club, but we're pushing Christian values, um, just getting more people involved, stuff like that.
That's great. I wish that I had a club like that at my school. So how did you get into this realm? Like how did this get your interest?
My mom and or both my parents really have always been into politics, and I just kind of grew up with my mom constantly talking about the news. She's kind of like a conspiracy theorist, so she like is constantly like saying stuff to me, and I'm just like, this is really interesting. I just started to like, I don't. It wasn't like a moment where it clicked, and I'm like, I love politics. It was more just like a thing that I slowly became interested in, and I was just really like felt like good, like knowing what was going on and like trying to like fix the world for the better, I guess, like have a part in that movement, because like everybody can be a voter, but you don't just have to be a voter, you can be something more, I feel like. um and just doing that made me feel really good. And then once I joined TPUSA, like, or joined Club America, uh I feel like it really lit a fire in me, and I'm like, yes, I love this, I love this. And then I went to CLS, which is Chapter Leader Summit for Turning Point, and Student Action Summit, and that's when I was like, I really love this. It was just kind of
Yeah,
like a steps.
it looks like so much fun. I wish I could go to some of the events, but I just can't right now. How do you make friends at these events?
Um, Sorry, can you repeat the question?
Oh, how do you make friends at these events? Like, how do you make connections with the other people who attend?
Oh, I like because they'll have like networking lunches and stuff to where like we can talk to other people and a lot of us shared numbers and Instagram and stuff like that so we can still connect with each other even like long distance because I know like now through Turning Point I know people in like Florida and like people in Wisconsin and like all these different states, California that live hours away from me. And just like sharing Instagram, sharing socials, just talking to them, sharing what you do. It's just really special.
Who are your favorite creators in this space? Like, do you like watching people on podcasts or Instagram reels?
Oh, I definitely love watching Charlie Kirk, obviously, and then Brett Cooper. I've been a fan of her for a very long time. She was definitely like my first probably like uh podcaster, I guess you could say,
Hmm.
that I just fell in love with and I was like, "Ooh, this girl makes some really good points. She's like out there. She went through Hollywood, which I know is like especially hard to go through as conservative, and I just thought that was really interesting."
Oh yeah, she was really little when she, I guess, was an actor. Like she was a kid, right?
Yeah.
And I haven't really seen much of her new show, but I did like her old show when she was on DW. The editing was great, and I did like some of the topics as well. Um,
Mhm.
do you want to do something like that?
I I've thought about it and I was like,
Hmm.
that seems really cool. It just seems like a lot of pressure. I feel like sharing like constantly putting your word out there, but I feel
Hmm.
like that could be something I wanted to do in the future. Our president actually in my chapter at my school actually does something like that. She has like her own little show that she like kind of like does a podcast on and it like does kind of spark my interest.
I mean, I think you'd be great at it. You already have over 600 followers on Instagram, and it's just, if I'm not mistaken, it's just photos, right? So if you started making videos, I think you cross 1,000 really easily, and then once you do that, you could go live. I know lots of teams that like to go live, like Hazel and Fab, and they have thousands of followers. Um, do you watch any people on Instagram, or is it just mostly YouTube?
Um It's mostly YouTube. I'll, like, watch shorts or, like, sorry, reels
Hmm.
of, people that I already watch on YouTube, so
Hmm.
it's kinda like both, but I wouldn't say there's anybody specifically I watch on reels besides, like, I'd say, like, younger people like, Taylor Sharp and
Oh yeah,
that
he's great.
yeah, he's good, and then that teen conservative, which I actually roomed with at CLS. It
Oh
was
wow.
yeah, it was crazy. I didn't realize I followed her until like, she was the one I was following until after, and I was like, "Wait, what?" It was
Is
'cause,
CLS just for girls, or can anyone go?
uh, it's for, chapter leaders or, like, if you're,
Uh,
like, the vice president or, like, historian, whatever, of your chapter or your school, but then SAS, which I also roomed with her with that, is for anybody can attend.
okay. I guess I'd have to go to SAS because there's no chapters around me. I'm not in high school. What advice would you give to people who want to start a club or want to run for office in one of the clubs?
Ooh, definitely just don't put so much pressure on yourself to, like, confine your opinions or like try to be liked by people who may be
Mhm.
interested in joining the conservative movement and stuff. Just put your opinions out there and just try to recruit people in or just like make it seem fun because it doesn't have to be so serious. Because someone actually asked me that question about a month ago. And that's the advice I gave them. I was like, just try to get as many people like to join the movement as possible. It's like, um, just getting your voice out there and don't be afraid of what people think of you.
Yeah, I think that's great advice. You know, I would like to do more of this. I like to get bigger, but I feel like I have to kind of intentionally limit myself because I'm not really sure how my parents would feel. I don't think they would agree with it. So
Mm.
like if they were to type in my name into Google, I can't have it, type showing up. But as I get older, hopefully it gets better and the content we get more views.
Yeah.
Um, and hopefully I can go and show up to some of those events because they seem like lots of fun. Could you go in depth on what it's like to attend CLS or SAS?
Definitely. So it's very like conference like,
Mm-hmm.
um, because it's I guess that's kind of what it is, but you'll be able like you'll stay in a hotel and then like do that kind of stuff, but it's you'll get like provided breakfast, lunch, like all that stuff, and you'll go for a quite elongated period of time and listen to like they'll have like a speaker lineup and you can listen to all your favorite conservative speakers, all that stuff. And I took a lot of notes when I went, and just being able to like look back on like what they said and stuff is just really helpful when I'm like thinking of like certain points that they made, because I'm like, like what did they say? And then I go back and um just like being able to get that information firsthand, like you're not seeing it on the news, there's no cuts, like whatever, just being able to like hear it is like so fulfilling and amazing, and also just really cool because it's kind of like seeing your like favorite celebrity, but
Mm-hmm.
but
Yeah.
it's your favorite conservative celebrity, I guess. And just like it's kind of like
Well, I mean, I probably know a lot more of them than I would know any celebrity. I think I got uh, what's her name, Beyonce and Taylor Swift confused or whatever. But I'm not gonna get any podcasters confused. I'll know all of them. Uh, so you get your like your news. Like, how do you know what's true, what's fake? Because even on our side, I see that there's so much fake people, trying to pass off fake stories. But like, where do you get that? Because when I'm trying to make videos, I try to commit to a video a day. I think some of the easiest videos are reactions on Instagram, but because of the way that my Instagram is set up, I have to go out there and actively look for the content. I know have like a list of people that I can sometimes react to. But um, if you wanted to create a podcast or a show, where would you get your news?
um that's definitely a hard question because I feel like in this like generation or this world that we live in right now
Mm-hmm.
is just like a lot of stuff, especially with AI. Like you don't know what to trust, who to trust. And
Mm-hmm.
I like to just like look at a bunch of different sources. Also like stick with like some speakers I trust most. Like I trust Brett Cooper. So like I'll use some of her information, or like dive into her information, or like Charlie Kirk, I'll look at his information. Um but definitely like podcasters and the people, I don't really look to news channels that
Mm-hmm.
often, because like a lot of times it can be fake news or just like very biased. And definitely X, and can sometimes it can be pretty like like kind of
Oh
suspicious.
yeah, I mean, people over there, I'm big over there. They just like make stuff up all the time. It's a whole bunch of rage baiting, and of course with Grok built in, they have. I mean, they can just make up whatever fake story that they want. So I always like to verify the stuff that I see over there because half the time it's fake,
Yeah.
half the time it's real. And I think the problem is that the algorithm, not that it's distracting or whatever, it's just that it shows you some of the same people, so you're not going to get as much information. And if you want to become a podcaster, like I want to become one, it's kind of hard to find out like where are these people getting their sources from, because it's not like they're on the ground reporting. I guess some of them are, but like Brett Cooper, she's reading that off of her tablet or something. She's not on the ground reporting because she's only one person.
Yeah.
Uh, so I like to go in and watch some of the podcast episodes and then go check what sources that they use, what original sources that they use. But it's really hard. I do think that with AI, of course, you can fake images and you can just write an entire article in 3 seconds that's totally fake and made up. But you can also use it as a good search engine to go find some sources. You can also find it to, I guess, do your own research, which is really great. Um, And before we cut this post recording, what word of advice would you say to someone who's around our ages who wants to get into this? Uh, Maybe they're a bit scared.
Um, I would say just try, like, to find a community, uh,
Hmm.
of conservatives. I feel like when you are, like, in a blue state or just not surrounded by people with the same opinions as you, it's definitely tough, especially
Yeah,
when you're fresh.
that's been sorry, that's been so hard for me because it's like no one around, and I don't really have any friends that I could talk to about. Well, just in general, I don't really have any friends, but none that I can really talk to about this stuff like this. So it's kind of me just having to do it by myself. So hopefully, I mean, I don't know where they'd find the community. Especially if their school doesn't have a chapter.
Yeah.
I know the map hasn't been updated, but there's tons of schools here, at least where I live in Houston, that don't have a chapter. I know my public school didn't until I switched, and my Christian school was only had like 50 people there, so it's too small to have a chapter.
Mhm.
Um, so I mean, I guess if they have a chapter, it's good.
Yeah. Yeah, just, like I feel like online you definitely can too, like, stuff like this where you're like,
Hmm.
uh, podcasts, stuff like that, just being able to talk with other people.
Yeah,
Uh,
true.
yeah, because definitely
But
it's definitely hard to find, like, other people
yeah,
that share the same
it was
opinion.
so hard to find people. I mean, I've been doing this campaign trying to get out and interview teens, both for this channel and the other one that we're about to tape for. Uh, and spent like money on ad deals, and you're like the second person to respond, and I sent out like over 150 200 direct messages and uh, snapchats, and no one responded. So hopefully that when this airs, people will see this and maybe we can create our own community together.
Yeah, definitely. 'Cause
All
it's
right.
definitely hard.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming on, and you guys can follow her at underscore Leighton underscore King underscore, is that correct?
Yeah.
And you can follow me at TheTechBoy underscore media and TheTechBoy org over on X.